Hello and welcome back. In this episode we're going to be making some mine tiles and as usual the PDF for these can be found down in the description. However, I did go back and forth trying to settle on a particular look for these and I've covered some of that in a recent blog post. So I'll provide a link to that as well, as I'm sure a few people will be interested to know why I've gone with this style. Anyway, enough of all that nonsense, let's get started. So, the tiles themselves are made in the same way as the cave tiles that we made back in episode 8, and that just means taking some single corrugated cardboard, or similar, gluing on the texture, and then cutting it into the desired shape. And as you can see, for my own tiles, I'll be going with tunnels that are 3 squares wide, so something like this. Though on this particular tile, I've also added a 2-inch exit without any rails, just so that it can also be connected to any of the cave tiles that we made previously, as they both use the same basic floor texture. And for most of the tiles, that's all there is to it. However, there is one tile that's a little bit different, and that's this one. And just like the others, I've glued it to some corrugated cardboard, and I'll now cut out a rough cave shape that has 3-inch exits on all 4 sides. As I say, this part is pretty much the same kind of thing that we did when we made all of the cave tiles. So that's what you can see me doing here. And there you go, that's the main part of the tile done. Next we'll need to take a large drinking straw, hold that in place in the centre of the tile, and draw a circle around it. This is just to mark out an area that we'll be cutting out in the next stage. So something like that. Then we'll start cutting that out with a sharp knife, and this doesn't need to be super neat or anything like that, as all we're really interested in is making a small hole that's a snug fit for the straw. Basically the kind of thing that you can see here. Okay, next we're going to mark a line on the straw itself that's the same height as the cardboard and cut that to size. There we go. And with any luck, that should fit inside the hole that we just cut out. Like so. So yeah, we'll now put both of these pieces to one side. Okay then, for this next part we'll take this texture here and glue that to some thin cereal box style cardboard. And once it's dry, we'll cut that to size. Next we'll need to mark out the centre of the circle on the back of the cardboard, and as you can see here, I'll then apply a thin layer of hot glue to the cardboard so that we can glue the little straw piece in the middle. And once I'm happy with that, I'll also drop a spot of hot glue inside the straw, just for a bit of added strength. Now, assuming everything's gone according to plan, if we take the 2 pieces that we just made, the little straw should fit inside the hole, and the whole thing should rotate freely. And if you like, you could leave it like that, but I also like to add a few handles, so that's what we'll do next. So for these, we'll take a piece of foam core, and on one side we'll glue these 2 textures, and on the other side we'll glue some of the wood pattern. And as usual, once they're dry, we'll cut those to size with a sharp knife. Then we'll take a strip of the wood texture that's been cut to the same thickness as the foam core, apply some glue to the back with the trusty glue stick, and then glue that around the edge of the piece. So that we end up with this kind of thing. It's pretty straightforward stuff. Next we'll take a toothpick or cocktail stick and some more of the wood pattern, glue that around the toothpick, and cut a length that's 3/4 of an inch long. Then all we'll need to do is apply a tiny spot of hot glue to one end and stick the whole thing to the little dot that's marked on the texture. And when we're done, this is how it should look. And of course, we'll need to make 2 of those. Right then, here's the tile with the turntable on top, and the last thing we'll need to do is glue one of these handles upon either side. So that's the first one stuck down, and now the second one. There we go. And that's pretty much the whole thing finished. So yeah, that's the turntable. I'm quite happy with how it looks, and as you can see, it's also fully functional. But before I go, I do just want to point out that if you've already made some cave tiles and you don't really want to go through the hassle of making a whole new set just to represent mines, then I've also included several strips of the rail texture in the PDF, which you can lay on top of your existing tiles, like you can see here. So yeah, that's it for this one. However, I will leave you with a picture that features some of the accessories that I've been working on, to accompany this set, and they'll be following along in the next video. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching and thanks for subscribing. You might have noticed that the channel has just passed 8,000 subscribers, which is quite a lot. So yeah, thanks again, and I'll see you next time.